Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pin and this is our snack for the journey, and our snack during this week is in the book of Samuel, first Samuel, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you were encouraged to go to that book and read those stories, because those stories they are great. They are great stories. They are great stories, and I'm going to close this one with one story that is a beautiful story, because it shows the character and the heart of David. David is a special person in the whole plan of God, and it's this is why Jesus. It's compared to David in that sense, and David is a good illustration, even with when he messed it up, and he did a lot of things that he did the wrong things, but he has a heart, beautiful heart, and you can see his heart in the book of Psalms. Most of the Psalms in the book of Psalms are from David, and you can see his heart for the Lord. But there is one event that shows the character and the heart of David. David, after he was anointed, he killed Goliath, and he became a very popular guy, very important. And Saul knew that David was going to be the next king, and then Saul said, "My son has to be the king, Jonathan." It's another story, totally great story of David and Jonathan, and Saul started hunting David to kill him. Said, "I'm not gonna give the king to David. I'm gonna hunt him and kill him." And David started kind of running away. It was tough because Saul put the army after David, and David was going mountains, caves, and sometimes he would go to the enemies to hide from Saul. He was tough for David and his men. He had a lot of guys following him. It is another great stories of those guys that followed David, and they were faithful to him and committed to him. But there is a story that Saul was sleeping, and David saw the camp, and he was in a cave, and he saw the camp. Said, "Look, Saul, God gave Saul into your hands." And he goes there, and he grabbed the spear from Saul. And I think that the jar or something. He leaves. He leaves, and the next day in the morning, he cries out from a distance. Of course, he cries out to Saul and said, "Look, you're trying to find me, and but God put your lives in my hand, and I did not take." Chapter 26, verse 23, look what David said. "The Lord rewards every man for his righteousness and faithfulness. The Lord delivered you into my hands today, but I would not lay a hand on the Lord's anointed." It's the attitude of David, the character of David, because the man said, "Kill him, get rid of him, kill him, and it's done. Let's get this thing done." And David said, "I'm not going to kill him. He's a man anointed by God to be the king of Israel, and I'm not going to raise my hand against him. Let the enemies of Israel do that, but I am not going to do that." So he went there, he grabbed the spear, he said, this is your spear, the spear that stays all the time beside you, and I was there and I grabbed it. So your life was in my hands at that time, but I decided not to take it. Because the Lord rewards righteousness and faithfulness. And this is what in the New Testament, when Paul says that we should not avenge ourselves. Because when we do that, we open the way for the Lord to deal with the situation. And sometimes that is the best way to do, is to let the Lord deal with the situation. Don't do yourself, because you're going to end up doing more than we're supposed to do, worse than we're supposed to do. So every man, the Lord rewards his righteousness and faithfulness. He's the anointed of the Lord. The Lord's going to take care of him. The Lord, I had your life in my hand. And it's a beautiful lesson that we learn from David here. And he shows his character and his heart to follow the Lord, to obey the Lord, to trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. He could finish that persecution right there. But said, well, this guy belongs to the Lord, and I'm not gonna mess it up with this. I'm not gonna deal with that. God is gonna deal with him. And he did. Eventually he did. But David said, I'm not gonna do. He's anointed of the Lord, and he belongs to the Lord, and the Lord will take care of him. And shows his righteousness and his faithfulness. And that is a beautiful lesson that we learn from David. And this is your snack for the journey. God bless you.